Why are you listening to other men about how to attract a woman? Shouldn't you be asking a woman? No. Guys ask other men because other men tell them the truth and tell them things that work. Women have a habit of lying. Like, guys, how many of you have seen a woman tell you to your face that, oh, she wants a nice guy, and all the usual cliches? As long as he's funny and has a good personality, and she's getting plowed through by a different Chatter Tyrone every night. I've seen that so many times. Like, they lie. So they lie to your face because it's all about keeping up appearances. They're not going to tell you what they really want because they want to keep up that innocent, pure appearance. So they're not going to tell you the truth. Men, on the other hand, though, men will tell you what works. If you ask a man that attracts a lot of women what he does to attract those women, they'll tell you what worked for them. Now, to be fair, the advice that these men give you may not work for you, but the men will at least be honest. They will tell you what worked for them. Oh, yeah, I did this, this, and this, and then the ladies were all over me. That's why men don't listen to women when it comes to asking how to attract women. Women keep lying. Men will at least tell them the truth. But then again, we're talking about women. Now, this article was written by a woman. Big surprise, right? Another thing I've seen very often with women, they will ask the most well-worn village bicycle they know for relationship advice. Like, well, she's had the most relationships. She has the most experience. I mean, it's obviously she's the right person to ask, right? Look at it this way. If you want advice on how to have a one-night stand every night, yeah, that's the right woman to ask. If you want advice on long-lasting relationships, the last person you go to is the Waymans with 5 divorces under her belt, okay? So you can't expect them to make correct decisions or have good advice. Now, if you're looking for a long-term relationship with a woman, start listening to women, not other men. No. If I wanted long-term relationship advice, I would go to a man that has been in a long-term relationship. Like, hey, dude, you've been married to the same woman for 20 years. What's the secret? Tell me what you're doing. Because at least I might get something useful. There's no doubt that males and females think differently. Being the only Waymans in my household, even my dog is male. I often find myself having to explain my opinions, reactions, and emotions. I think you should have stuck with the last one. Emotions explain everything. Like, why are you doing this? Because my feelings. Oh, okay. And the whole men are from Mars, women are from Venus rhetoric plays out repeatedly in my home. But at the basic level, we're all just humans looking for love, companionship, and belonging. Is that what gold diggers are looking for? Love is not a game. Someone sounds mad that their game has been exposed. Male advice on dating and meeting women makes it sound like a game. They explain strategies and list things women want from a man. If you tick all these boxes for the strategy, you win the game and you get the gal. No, you literally only described pickup artists. Like, you see, this is a problem. Like, Better Bachelor covers similar things all the time. The type of man that this woman is attracted to, the type of man that she surrounds herself with, is the type of man that would do something like this. And then they project that on all men. Well, all the men around me that I surround myself with are chauvinist douchebags. Therefore, all men must be chauvinist douchebags. So she surrounds herself with PUAs and then effectively considers all men PUAs. May as well be the end of the article right here. We already found what the problem is. Yeah, I for one, just like I just got done ripping on women, asking the village bicycle for relationship advice. Men asking PUAs for relationship advice is the same thing. If all you want is booty calls and one night stands and hookups, that's when you go the PUA route. If you want a long-term relationship, PUAs aren't going to get you that. But in a game, there's always a winner and a loser. In the dating game, if you're being anything other than yourself, one of you is going to lose. Yeah, so just like a game. She is the loser if she had been led to believe you are something you're not, and you are the loser if you have to continue to be someone other than yourself to be your perfect match. Why don't you apply that to women as well? Are you saying that women are like they just never pretend to be something they're not? They never put makeup on. They never lie about their age. They never lie about their marital status. They never lie about having 3 other boyfriends and playing the field. They never lie about what they're actually interested in because they don't want to look shallow. Yeah, I've never heard of a case of a woman figuring out what a guy likes and pretending to be that so she could land that guy. Yeah, that never happens. Yeah, we really don't want games. No, see, this I believe. Women are the ones that are playing the games. They don't want men to play games back at them. So a bit of harmless teasing and flirting is great, but we want to know where we are with you. The guessing game, don't tell her how much you want to see her again. The texting game, no, don't want to look too keen. The withholding of compliments, don't let on how much you like her. And the jealousy game, treat her mean to keep her keen, won't work. So when women do this, they call it playing hard to get. When men do this, it's being a douchebag. Checks out. Nothing weird about that whatsoever. It's the same if your lady is a game player. Yeah. Games don't end with 2 winners. A healthy, loving, long-term relationship is a situation where you both win. It depends on what game you play. But yeah, there's games with multiple winners. What the hell are you talking about? Let go of the blanket advice. Oh, okay. This applies both ways, remember. I have 2 sisters. We all value and desire different things from our partners, just as all women do. Just as individuals with different baggage and life experiences, we all want something slightly different, and we all find attraction in different places. All right, this is actually true. We find certain traits and quirks fascinating, sexy, appealing, but can't explain why. We just do. I'm sure you're the same. Yeah, and I'm sure you also know that depending on what those quirks and traits are, not all of them are things you can be advertising in public that you're looking for. And some of those are things you blatantly lie about when called out on. And that's why we would rather ask somebody else. So there are a few things we tend to agree on. I'm pretty certain without polling millions of women that we want a man who is himself and makes us feel comfortable with being ourselves in front of them. And they say that, and then they're immediately getting railed by Chad and Tyrone the next night because they're sexually attracted to him. Oh, I get it, right? You want beta bucks, but you want them alpha fucks, right? Like we had that saying a while ago: alpha fucks, beta bucks. They want to go out and have sex with all the bad boys, but they want the cuck back home to be on cleanup duty, and they don't understand why they're single. The flattery, compliments, goofiness, laughing at yourself, and showing your passions are all things we respond positively to. We want the true you to like the true us. And then as soon as you get married, you force him to give up all of his passions. Let's just forget that. I repeat, we do not want games. Yeah, you want to be the ones playing the game. You don't want to be the ones getting played. We got it. You don't like it when guys act the way you do. We understand. If you want to text them back immediately or as soon as you get home from a date, do it. If she thinks you're too keen and backs off, so what? She wasn't the one. I mean, I can't argue with that. That's true. Drop the act and the game and the blueprint. That just makes you more nervous. You are enough just the way you are. The right woman for you will see through your nervous smiles, sweaty palms, and awkward explanations. All right. Now, this is something that's a problem on both sides. Incels, both male and female, it's not that they can't get a partner. It's that they can't get the partners they want. The partners that would want them are beneath their notice. So yeah, there are people out there who would take you, but for some reason you don't want them. Yeah, it just always works out that way. So yes, we want you to make an effort to and be made to feel special, but you haven't got to be Casanova to do so. Now, once again, they say this, and then the guys that are getting all the girls are doing the exact opposite of what they say. Now, there are subtle and subconscious signs to let you know she likes you, playing with her hair, flushed cheeks, smiling with her eyes, and just being tactile, just as there are signs you will subconsciously show if you like her. All right, and here's the problem, though. A lot of guys that are perpetually single, it's because like they're not socially inept enough to differentiate between women just being friendly with them and women showing genuine attraction. That seems to be like that I think is one of the biggest weaknesses that guys have. Like there's like especially guys that don't get a lot of attention from women. If a woman is just nice to them, they take it as, oh yeah, she's wet for me. She wants me. Like, no, she was just being nice. So you got to learn to tell the difference. Despite your differences, when you're out on a date, you're both two people looking for love and companionship. You're both nervous, hesitant, and on your best behavior. True. And then when you start dating and long enough, and you start dropping the act, and you're not on your best behavior anymore, that's when the relationship falls apart. Now, it doesn't always work out, and that's fine. It's not a failure. You're just not meant for each other. The way the legal system works nowadays, the game is just not worth playing, really. The best version of yourself you can be is the true you. You can only meet your perfect whammons when you are being yourself. And when you try that and all the girls call you creeps, and then you actually take the PUA advice and you get some one-night stands, what's a man to think? Like, look, I don't know how much the woman that wrote this article knows, but most of the guys that end up going to PUAs for their dating advice, they initially started out listening to advice like yours, and it did not work out for them at all. They tried it your way long enough with no results. They made a change. They listened to the PUAs and they got results. It's sad, but that's how it is. If your advice wasn't bad, these guys wouldn't be driven to PUAs. Being yourself isn't easy. It's literally the easiest thing in the world, actually. I know it's hard just being yourself. Being a man comes with so many expectations, and you have been hurt in the past. I get that you're nervous, and so will any other decent whammons. I'm sure she will be too. It depends on how rich you are. So relax. Don't need to put on a masculinity display, know it all, or pretend to have it all together. As long as you're willing to pay off her student loans, keep it real and believe you are enough right now just as you are. Well, that attitude right there is what's dooming so many women to being single. Like, look, I understand the importance of having of valuing yourself highly. I get it. But like, especially when it comes to dating, it doesn't matter how you view yourself. It's more important how the other person views you. You could view yourself as a perfect 11 out of 10 best catch ever. If that's not how the other person sees you, it doesn't matter. So this whole self-esteem bullshit that, oh, you are good enough like you are. Well, maybe for yourself, but if your intention is to find somebody else, you need to be good enough for them too. And this goes for both men and women. So when two people come together from a starting point of knowing they are enough, attraction and desire come from a place of wanting, not needing. Tell that to all the crazy cat ladies out there. I'm sure they'd like to hear this. And so it makes sense that the work you need to do to find your dream girl doesn't start with adopting a strategy to get her to like you. It starts with working on liking yourself first. Now, this I actually don't think is bad advice. Like, this is similar to the advice I tell guys. Like when guys are freaking out about getting laid or getting a woman. Okay, forget about chasing. Like, if you want to get pussy, stop chasing pussy. Work on yourself. Go to the gym, work out, advance in your career, make more money, As soon as you stop chasing pussy and you actively start improving yourself, the pussy will be chasing you. So where previously you were begging for scraps, like you were begging for whoever would give you the time of day, when they're coming after you, you have your choice of which one you want. But of course, once you have all that, yeah, you got to be careful. Yeah, well, you may realize, like, you know what? I don't need pussy other than maybe the occasional visit to the bunny ranch. Oh man, this is just so dumb. Yeah, all it is useless platitudes and just spouting nice sounding words to make people feel better. Nothing useful whatsoever.